Scratch babble.
Let's head to work. I'm not even sure if the camera's pointing the right way, but what the hell. It's just after 5 o'clock in the morning. First day of summer yesterday. Strawberry moon last night. Little muggy this morning. So I adjusted my throttle cable the other day. Thought I fixed my cold start problem. Not at all. Sorry about the wind noise. It did not fix it. So, as Mason meant, nice miss shift. As Mason mentioned, I'm going to have to maybe check the valves or just leave it until it breaks in a little more. I've just got about 1,200 miles on it. So this is my commute to work every morning. It's only about 10 minutes. Forgot to put my earplugs in. Ow! Just got nailed in the right arm by some kind of dearly departed bug, I'm assuming now. In our little town, well, I guess in most little towns, you may not typically have a ton of traffic on the road at 5 in the morning, but with there being 2 military bases within 10 minutes of either direction of my house, there's a lot of base traffic early. They have to get in at 6. It smells like an animal got flattened. It's 68 degrees this morning, which is actually cooler than it's been in the morning in a while. It's been 70s, even 80s sometimes in the morning. Feels awesome. Been an interesting couple weeks at work. We just came out of the ratings, and so typically that's when you get to chill out a little bit, and we're not allowed to take vacation days during ratings. We're in ratings twice a year, and but summer is our busiest season. There's so much well, summer's busy, fall's busy. Every Wednesday we teamed up with a local food truck, Big Red Truck. Their food's amazing, and we go to a different part of our listening area and serve lunch to our listeners for free for an hour. And actually today's Tuesday. Big Red Truck's going to come by our office today and feed the crew, which is pretty awesome. But we've got so many festivals, so much going on, of course, with first Memorial Day and then 4th of July, and it's just a really busy time. And in this being a resort town, Destin, Fort Walton Beach in Northwest Florida, it is slammed up on the roads. So commuting this time of morning is actually kind of nice, because this is the least crowded the roads will be all day. When I come home this afternoon, there's going to be that great mixture of tourists who don't know where they're going, older people who just drive slow. They just drive really slow. Then you've got all the distracted people, and then you've got the people who only care about themselves. So it makes for a ridiculous mix of potential danger. I mean, it really is crazy. You have to have your head on a swivel. I know you have to do that wherever you ride, but There's actually more traffic than I normally see in the morning. This isn't traffic, but more cars on the road right now than I normally see in the morning. So anyway, typically I get to work and have just enough time to take my stuff off, log on to the studio computer, do a little bit of prep. My partner usually comes rolling in just as I'm hitting the opening theme. We're a country music station, so we start the day with the national anthem, and he usually comes in just as that kicks off. We have a lot of fun. If anybody's interested, it's Highway 98 Country, 98.1 FM. We're on TuneIn in Fort Walton, Destin, Florida. When I first came to this town 23 years ago, I started out on a rock station for 5 years. Then within the same building, moved to our top 40 station for 10 years, 11 years. Then moved to our country station for less than a year. By then we'd been bought out by one of the big corporate companies, and it was miserable. Then I moved to another group that was bought out, working on their country station that they had just launched. And now we've been bought out again. We actually, our new owners take control on a week from yesterday, next Monday. So once again, it becomes an interesting time in radio. Kids, radio's not for the faint-hearted or people who like things like money. But it does beat working for a living. And there was a time where there's actually some decent money even in a small town like this. I mean, the money's not horrible, but like a lot of people, and thankfully I never lost a job, but I'm almost embarrassed to say this. You know what, I'm probably not going to say, because there are people who have it a lot worse than me, but it was like everybody, a huge hit in the pocketbook during the recession, and it hasn't come back. And I'm not going to get into politics and all that, but I think we all know that there's a lot that needs to change to level the playing field again. But it's been a slow comeback for everyone, and it's still now, after 8 years, not back to oh, there's a red light, Jim. Nice skid. That was impressive. Speaking of distracted drivers, oh, come on, man. Son of a bitch. Well, that was an interesting little exchange. Let's see what happens. So I got in the left lane to turn, forgot the light was red, or whatever, didn't register. Braked late, locked up my rear brake, but then again, I'll tell you what, that's something when I talked about the first 1,000 miles on this bike, I need to get over to a parking lot and practice my high-speed braking, because it's so different from the Harleys I was riding last year. Anyway, so I locked up the brake. Normally when I come to that intersection and I go to that convenience store, I go straight through the light, then hook a left and just come on in like any other car or any other vehicle. This time I brain farted. Maybe it's because I was distracted, bitching about people on the phones, and I'm moto vlogging on my way to work when maybe I'm not completely awake. Excuse me, sir, I gotta get over here. Got in the left lane, which is what I do when I'm in my truck, to turn at that light. Not in my truck, get in the lane anyway. Do it all late. Skid. Sensor doesn't pick up my motorcycle when the light changes. Stalled it not once, not twice, but 3 times because in my quick stop I hadn't downshifted. Go up, pull into the convenience store, notice people at the pump looking at me, and then get off the bike and look at the shifter as if there was some kind of problem mechanically, just to save face. That sounds about right. Nice deconstruction. You know, I'm probably going to leave that in because there's lessons to be learned there. Maybe not for you, but for me. Number 1 lesson is never get cocky. The reason why I'm cutting through these roads to get to my office is because the lights won't trigger. I have to make left-hand turns coming off that main road to get into my office at traffic lights. This bike will not trigger any of the lights, so I have to come in through the back way. I don't even remember where I was in my story after that little bit of drama, so it wasn't much of a story. I was just talking about my commute. Why radio builds paupers. What is my deal today with the clutch? Clutch is fine. It's me. All right, back entrance. There's our 4 radio stations. Country, top 40, kind of a mix station, and then a rock station. I kind of staked this out as as long as I'm not leaking oil, I don't have a problem with it, and I'm not. But this little overhang will give me just enough shade. Throughout the day. Alright, well, that was an adventure. Just want to show you, I'll give you a little tour. I'll give you the full tour one day. It's our little performance room. We have bands and new artists mostly come in and do a little private. We're still doing some work here. But it's a cool little private room for private performances. And then we can go upstairs. That's a production room for doing commercials and whatnot. Sister station. Kitchen. Sales manager's birthday yesterday. Another production room. This is the DJ workroom. Like I said, I'll give you a better tour of this building at some point. This is my workstation. Remember this, kids. Remember what this says right here. Okay. My Brave stuff. F-16 ride, blah, blah, blah. Alright, I'm actually running late, so we're going to the studio. All right. I've got to log on the computers, log on the system, get some prep done. This is our studio. It's not, we've been here over a year. And
just talking about walking in your bedroom
there you go.
From your master bath shower and the possibility of somebody being in the room.
Well, I thought my daughter was off doing her thing. I didn't know she was in my room. But it got more awkward when I walk into the room naked and she's FaceTiming with her mother.
Yeah, see,
I just asked my daughter to turn around the camera so I could say hi to her mom. Hey, baby, remember this? Woo, woo, woo!
Weekday mornings on Highway 98.
Unfortunately, she didn't have her microscope, so she didn't. All right, got to go to work. Bye.